Hey y'all, welcome back to my live broadcast. Welcome to all of my replay viewers. Welcome to my regular viewers who come back and hang out with me every Thursday, or you go back and watch the replays. Today, I want to talk about planning for prosperity, and I want to talk to you about a workshop that I have coming up, and I'll talk to you about how you can get access to that workshop. And a hint is that you don't necessarily have to spend money if you don't want to. But the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to planning is that when it comes to being prosperous, that doesn't happen by accident. You have to be deliberate. You have to be very intentional when it comes to putting yourself in a more prosperous place. So, if you don't know me, my name is Shanta Prince, and I work with women coaches. And all of my clients are high achieving women. They're all phenomenal women. And what I do is I help them to create premium offers. I help them to build their personal brands and really position themselves as the CEOs of their companies. And I help them to turn their gifts and expertise into profitable offers. So my main focus is on brand building, brand messaging, audience building. And one of my favorite things to do with my clients is to help them to create offers. And I was just getting ready to make a post about this. So those of you who are you already connected to me on Facebook or LinkedIn, you'll see it come out shortly. But I was just thinking about how people, everybody is different. And because everybody is different, no one should have the same offer. No one should have the same kind of a brand. And one really awesome thing about my clients is they're all so brilliant. And you won't see any offers that are like theirs. Like each one of my clients they have different offers because they have different personalities and different styles. And so one of the my favorite things to do when I first get a new client is to sit with them and help them to create a premium offer that fits their style, it fits their personality, and it's what they love to do. So when you love to do something, it's so much better when you wake up in the morning knowing, okay, I get to do this thing that I love today. Even though, yes, it still takes work, but it makes it so much better when you actually enjoy what you're doing. So, in a nutshell, that's what I do. So, if you need help with creating a premium coaching offer to sell, or if you're a consultant and you need help putting together an offer, if you need help with your messaging, if you need help with sales, I am your girl. So today I want to talk about planning for prosperity because one of the things that took my business from just barely making any money to making some huge breakthroughs is putting together a plan. I know it sounds I know it sounds so simple, like, well, duh. But I will tell you, and you may be able to relate to this. When I first started business, I did a lot of things, like I was winging it. Like a lot of the things that I did, I was just kind of winging it, trying to figure my way, find my way through things. And that's how a lot of people start out. They start out kind of winging it because they're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. But there's a way to still, make space for you to figure out what works and what doesn't work by putting together a plan. Having a plan is the one thing that put my business that put my business in a place where I could have some really amazing breakthroughs. So let me tell you. So the first thing is when I talk about planning for prosperity. Now, let's talk about what prosperity is, because we might have different understanding of what prosper really means, and what's prosperous for you may not be prosperous for me. What's prosperous for me may not be prosperous for you. But you got to decide, and deep down inside if you're in your most prosperous place or not. Like deep down inside, if God is calling you to something greater, if God is calling you to something more, something bigger, deep down inside, you already know that thing. Okay. So now let me tell you. Now, when we look at what it means to prosper, in many cases, the worldly definition of it may be a little bit different than what the biblical definition is, but they kind of mean the same thing. But when we look at the biblical definition of prosperity, it's not just about money. Being prosperous is not just it's not only about money. So when we look at prospering, what it mostly refers to is economic success. It means to flourish, to become strong. And when we look at the biblical definition of prosperity, a lot of things go into it. That's part of it. Like financial success is part of it. But when we look at the biblical definition of what it means to prosper, it's not just about how much money you're making. It is also about What is your it's about ongoing success. Okay, it's not just a one-time thing, it's about ongoing success, being successful consistently. But it also means to be to flourish in every area of your life. And I think the thing that we sometimes have to be reminded of is that in order to be successful or prosperous when it comes to the financial side of things, then we've got to have success in other areas of our life as well. So, for example, you heard the term health is wealth. I agree with that because if you're not healthy, it's very difficult to not just build wealth, but also to maintain your wealth. So your health and your wealth are like they're inextricably connected. They're connected to each other. And so in order for you to be wealthy, then you got to be healthy, right? So you can enjoy your wealth, right? See the fruit of your wealth. And so when you're planning for prosperity, you want to make time to plan for building your wealth and for the accumulation of wealth. But you also want to have a plan so that you can do the other things that bring you joy. So you can have time to do things that nourish your soul, do things that nourish your body so that you can show up and do what you need to do to continue to accumulate wealth. So having a plan enables you to be able to do that. Now I was just in a session with a bunch of really amazing people, and we were just talking about different things. And one of the things that we talked about is how like for example, when you don't get enough sleep at night, it's a struggle to be successful on that next day. For me, one thing I don't mess with is my sleep. Like, I'm very serious about my sleep, and I need a good night's sleep or else I'm not functioning right the next day. Like, and so for me, I'm like, okay, I know for myself, I need to get enough sleep so that I can do what I need to do the next day. If I don't get enough sleep, I'm tired. I'm depending on Starbucks. I would say I depend on Starbucks and Jesus, coffee and Jesus. But so I'm looking at and it y'all like don't I'm not telling you to do this or maybe I am condoning it for myself, but y'all, like, so when I'm eating healthy, I get my energy source is natural food, right? So I go on these terms where I'm like eating super healthy. I'm really strict with what I'm eating, what I'm putting into my body. And then, maybe that next term or that next that next time, that next season, maybe I'm just, a little bit less strict and I'm eating more things. Like for me, I'm a sucker for some sweets. So I go through phases. Like during the holiday season, I was eating a lot of sugar. And then starting in this new year, I cut back a lot on sugar. And so but let me tell you, when I am like, for example, when I do detoxes, I try to do a detox at least once a year, or at the most two detoxes a year. And when I do a detox, what I do is I'm eating strictly vegan for 21 days. And not just vegan, but very specific vegetables. So everything I eat for 21 days is plant based. And so during that time, like usually the first 3 days is very difficult. But then by the fourth day, I wake up with all this energy. I remember the first time I did a detox like this, I woke up on like the fourth day and I had so much energy. I felt like I could just like jump through the roof. I had so much energy, but I got my energy from natural sources. So I'm just saying all that to say that sometimes I get my energy from caffeine, sometimes I get my energy from food, but I'm not saying that's a good way to do life. But I am saying that if I don't sleep right, y'all, I'm dependent on any and everything to help me to get through the day. And I don't like operating like that. I don't like functioning like that. I like to be my best self when I'm writing copy for my clients, when I'm writing an advertisement. As a matter of fact, I'm writing copy right now. That's why my background has changed, y'all. So let me tell you, don't laugh at me, y'all, but I have moved my office down to my living room. So that's why I'm literally in my living room sitting behind my couch right now. So that's why my background is a little bit different because I'm in a season right now where I'm writing copy. And when I write copy, I like to like change my atmosphere a little bit and have some exciting things going on in the background. So one of the things I like to do is, and I've shared this before with you guys and with my clients, sometimes I like to let certain shows play in the background. Like Living Single is my favorite. Living Single, any of those shows that were out when I was growing up, sometimes I'll turn that on and let that play in the background while I work. So this is my first time moving my office into my living room, but I moved my office to my dining room. So I know y'all probably laughing, but like I literally have an office in my house. I have my own office, but sometimes I like to get a change of scenery. So when I need to like awaken my creativity, I like to change my scenery a little bit. So I moved my office down to the living room temporarily. I got my son's old desk. We bought him a new bed, and he has a desk attached to his bed. So I was getting ready to give the desk away, and then I was like, "Wait a minute, let me use this real quick and set up my little office." So I'm writing copy and right now for some things that I have coming up. But I also write copy for my clients a lot of times. I also write their bios. I'm working on a couple of my clients' bios this week. So I'm saying all that to say, you guys, if I'm tired or if I'm not prioritizing my health, it's very difficult for me to be successful in my day when I have to get these things done. And so that's an example of what I mean by how like your health is directly connected to your ability to be prosperous, right? We want to be prosperous financially. We want to be spiritually prosperous. We want to be physically prosperous. We want to be mentally prosper. So you want to be able to prosper in every area of your life. And that all starts with you creating a plan. So when I was talking about how I was in this group with these ladies and we were talking about health, and one of the ladies said, because I put a schedule in place, I sleep better at night and I don't wake up anymore at 3 o'clock in the morning because I know that I've got time on my schedule to do certain things. So now she's sleeping better at night. She's sleeping through the night, all because she has a plan to get things done. And you guys probably already know how it is when you have a lot of stuff to do and you feel like you don't have enough time to do it. It can be overwhelming. It could be stressful. It could cause you to lose sleep at night because instead of sleeping, you're thinking about this stuff that you got to get done. I've been there and done that, y'all, especially when I was in the Navy. When I was in the Navy and I had something important coming up that I knew I couldn't miss or I couldn't be late for, even though I wasn't really one of those people who are late, but it would really stress me out and I would end up not getting a good night's sleep. Well, having a plan in place can do a lot of things, not just for your business, but for your life all around. So you really got to have a plan. This is not the year to wing it. This is the year to have a plan and to be strategic with your plan. But people feel like sometimes that having a plan can um keep you in a box. But I think having a plan does the exact opposite. Having a plan gives you more freedom. For example, if you have a plan in place and then something comes up, you can move things around. That's why I encourage my clients when they're working on their plans, I encourage them to write in pencil so you can erase and move things around as you need to. But if you have a plan in place and then something comes up, you can say, okay, I had this right here going on, but because this happened, let me move this to this specific date. So you're still able to be flexible, but you're still not winging it because you got a plan. You may just have to adapt that plan, right? It's better to have a plan that you can adapt than to not have a plan at all. And so putting that thing in place makes a huge difference for you to be able to make the kind of money you want to make. Another example of having a plan is, let's say that you have set your income goal for the year, and let's say you want to make $200,000 this year. Well, if you have your plan together and you know if you want to make $200,000 this year, then you know by the first quarter you need to make $50,000, right? So let's say it's getting down to toward the end of the first quarter and you haven't hit your $50,000 goal yet. Well, in that case, you can go and look at your plan and say, okay, I got this coming up, I got this coming up, but I got this little space right here. I can add an event or something that can give me a quick cash injection to help me to reach my goal. So maybe there's something that maybe you're executing your plan, but it wasn't enough for you to meet your goal, right? You can say, all right, well, I'm going to do this other thing right here that I can squeeze in to my plan to help me get a cash injection, boost my income so that I can hit that goal and stay on track to make my $200,000 this year. Those are the benefits of having a plan laid out for yourself. And also so that you can have time to do the things that you want to do. And that's why I said having a plan can actually give you more freedom, more space to enjoy life so that you're not stressed out, you guys. I cannot tell you how difficult it is to try to be present in one thing, but you're thinking about something else, right? So for me, one of the things that I said I was not doing in this year is I'm not going to be spending long hours working on the weekends, unless of course I'm in a special launch or a workshop. Those are the only times that I plan to work on weekends, and even still not spending long hours. But it's hard when you've got so much stuff to do and you're trying to be present, but you're like, oh, I didn't send that email, or oh man, I didn't do this. When you got your plan together, you have time set aside so you can be present for the things that are important to you, the things that matter to you, so that you can also take time off and enjoy being an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is hard enough, right? It's already hard. So you got to make sure you got time to rest, time to relax, time to get poured into for yourself, right? Because for many of us, we're busy pouring and pouring and pouring, and then we need a break. We need time where somebody can pour into us, right? We all need that. We all need somebody to speak into our lives. And so when you're able to do that with a plan, you can set time aside for yourself to do exactly what you need to do to keep yourself running. This is what I mean by, like, what you're doing in your, not just in your business, but in your life, it all flows together, right? We as compartmentalized as we would like to be, we really can't, right? It's very difficult to separate all of who you are. It's hard to compartmentalize, especially if you work from home. Like I was just telling my husband yesterday, and we always joke about this. I always tell him, with me working from home, it's hard sometimes because because I'm at home, I have to force myself to stick to my plan. So for example, if I'm working and I'm like, oh man, I need to go to the store, I'm out of almond milk. So for me, what I've started doing is saying, nope, I'll go once, when I'm finished. When I'm finished with my work, then I'll go get some almond milk. But what I used to do is I would be at the store like in the middle of the day, which there's nothing wrong with that if I plan for it, right? If I say, okay, well, every Wednesday morning, I'm gonna drop the kids off at school and then I'm gonna go do some grocery shopping. That's perfectly okay if it's with my plan. But if I know I'm supposed to be working, but I'm out shopping, then that can become a problem. So being at home is very difficult to like separate things and compartmentalize things, because like I'm in the house, like my office is in my house. So sometimes I gotta make sure I'm like, okay, this is something that can wait until later, because if I was working a full-time job, I wouldn't just get up and go and be at the grocery store when I'm supposed to be working, right? Well, actually, it depends on what kind of job you have. But like some of you may be able to do that. You may be able to just get up and go, and that's okay. But having a plan helps you to make sure you've got time for other things that are important to you. Listen, I used to think that working long hours in my business was the way to go. This is the way to success. But now I'm learning, like, yo, like having a successful business is nothing if you're not successful in life. Having a plan allows you to have that balance so you can have a successful business and a successful life. If your business is thriving but you never see your children, then that's a problem, right? Because your children can really grow to resent your business, and they'll just see your business as something that takes you away from them constantly. But there's a way that you can build your business and you can have time for your family. Y'all, for the Christmas for the holiday season, during around about Christmas, I was so busy. My daughter had a Christmas band concert, and then she had a play that she was doing. She was doing Elf Junior, so she was in that play, and then she had Nutcracker performances. Y'all, I felt like literally I felt like crying, because I'm like, this girl's schedule is so packed. Like I feel like crying right now trying to fit everything in. But the thing is, I was able to be there for all the things that I needed to be there for her, because because I have businesses, right? So for those of you who know me, I have multiple businesses. So I have businesses, but I also have a plan to where I can make sure, okay, I've got this stuff done, but now I can be over here for my baby girl. I can be in the audience watching her perform. I can take her where she needs to be to the 3,000 rehearsals that she has. Yeah, for my fellow dance moms, or even whatever your kids did, you understand what I'm saying. So, but during that time, they're like, Christmas is my favorite time of the year, but yet I'm like all over the place. But I'm able to be her mom and I'm able to be present for her because of a plan, you guys. So I have a planning workshop coming up where I want to help you to map out your marketing and promotional calendar for the rest of the year. And the stuff that I'm going to be teaching you, you can use this stuff for next year, or planning out any other thing you want to plan out. But I'm going to walk you step by step through the same process that I walk my clients through when I help them to plan their prosperous year. So we're going to cover quite a few things, and I really want you to walk away feeling confident in your business plan, confident in knowing what you're going to be doing that year, even if you have to make a few changes and adapt a few things. But we're going to cover some three really powerful areas when it comes to planning. So the first thing we're going to talk about in this workshop is I'm going to show you how to strategically plan your marketing and promotional calendar so that you can have time for yourself and for your family, all the stuff that I just talked about. I'm also going to talk to you about what to avoid and why to avoid this when setting up your marketing calendar. If you get this wrong, your audience will be turned off, right? And we don't want to turn away people who are potential clients. And then I'm gonna teach you the one tool that will change the game for your business this year and position you for a consistent business breakthroughs. So, in order to get access to this planning for prosperity workshop, you can do one of two things. So there are two ways to get access, and you choose the one that works for you. There are two options. The first option is, if you're watching me inside of the High Achieving Coaches group, your two options are to number one, you can scroll to the top of the group, hit that invite button, and invite 5 ladies who are coaches or aspiring coaches if they want to be coaches. Or if you have that friend and you're like, this person they need to be selling their information, they need to be selling their knowledge, they need to be getting paid for their expertise, invite them too. So you can scroll up to the top of the group, hit the invite button, and invite 5 ladies who are coaches or aspiring coaches. Or you can just tap the link inside of the group and you can click that link, and the investment price is just $50. Now, the reason why there's two options is because if you're one of those people and you're like, listen, I do not have a big network, and or if you're one of those people who are like, listen, I don't like everybody in my business, and I don't like, I don't like putting all of my business out there, then the $50 option might be for you. That's why, we got options. But if you're one of those people who you have a huge network, or it doesn't even have to be huge. It doesn't have to be a huge network. If you're one of those people and you have a network of people and you know people that you can invite, then the first option is for you. Okay. So you can either invite 5 ladies, five coaches or aspiring coaches, or you can just tap the link and make your $50 investment. Now, for those of y'all who've been in workshops with me before, you know how I do business, and I do have the tendency to over deliver. So I just said that to say that you is worth more. Usually when I do courses and things like that, I really try to make sure you are walking away with immense value. And even if you've been in my free workshops, I give a ton of value. So you won't have to worry about getting a return on your investment, because you will get even more than that. So that's why there are two options available depending on where you are and what's going to work best for you. There's no wrong or right option. It's just the option that works best for you. So you can invite 5 ladies, or you can make the $50 investment. Either one of those will work perfectly. Also, oh, I wish I had it with me, but I'm also giving away a planner. Now, every year for the past 3 years, I buy a business planner to help me stay on track with my plans for the year. And I pay $72 for this planner, you guys. I'm giving away one of the exact same planner that I have. I'm giving that away to the person who, if you take the invite option, the person who invites the most ladies to the group, I will ship you that $72 planner at no cost to you. Okay, so that's how you can get access to the Planning for Prosperity workshop. And if you're watching me inside of the group, the post is already in there. If you're watching me from YouTube or from my Facebook page, then I will post that for you as well. But you can easily send me a direct message and I can get you hooked up. Okay. Now, as far as being inside of the group, once you scroll up to the top and hit that invite button, your friends list will come up. Don't worry, I can see when you invite people. So if you're like, well, how does she know? I can actually see. So when those invites start rolling in, I'll be able to see the people who you invited. So don't worry about that part. And I will send you the link to join us. The Planning for Prosperity workshop is happening on Friday, January the 27th. We're going to go from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and we're just going to walk through planning your promotional calendar. And of course, you're probably going to get a ton of business and marketing nuggets as well. But when you walk away, you'll have a plan for your year so that you can make sure you're being intentional and you're being deliberate about your success, about your prosperity, and that you have your marketing and promotional calendar put in place so that you can make money, right? It's hard to make money if you're not marketing, right? So, hey, lady, it's hard to make money if you're not marketing. Now, this process that I'll be walking you through is the exact same process that I walk my clients through. We did it last year where we walked through the stuff that they need to put in place for their year so they can be prosperous, so they can be intentional and deliberate about their success. So this is the exact same process that I took my clients through, and I'll be taking you through as well. All right, y'all. So if you have any questions about the Planning for Prosperity workshop, you can send me a DM. Most of you already know I'm always in the DMs talking to you guys. So send me a DM if you have any questions. If you're inside of the group, tap that link to grab your spot, or you can scroll up to the top and invite your five ladies. If you're not inside of the group but you want to participate, come on over and join us. The group is High Achieving Coaches on Facebook. Come on over and join us inside of the group, and then you can invite your 5 people or tap that link to get your spot in the Planning for Prosperity workshop. All right, guys, y'all have a wonderful one, and I'll be seeing you here at the same time next week. See you soon.